go. Schmoozing with Brad. You know what? Says today is World Kindness Day.
Wow, is it really?
It really is.
Julie,
As
good
part
one.
of World Kindness Day, we are encouraged to spread kindness around the world. The World Kindness Movement is a legally registered non-for-profit organization. The World Kindness Movement started World Kindness Day in 1998 and has spread to 28 countries. It is now spreading to Bradshaw Live. And while not a governing body, it is a platform for collaboration and sharing. They feel that we each have the potential to improve each other's lives through understanding and kindness, whether it's a friend, a family member, or even a stranger. Our ability to show kindness is what gives us humanity. Meanwhile, it is impeachment day, but it was smoking hot in Washington despite the weather. How many impeachment hearings have there ever been in the United States of America? 4. This is the 4th one. Clinton, Nixon, the guy after Lincoln,
We'll leave it up to
Andrew
the
Johnson.
Andrew Johnson.
I was right.
You got it.
I was right. Andrew
that.
Johnson. It was right. The 2 people who testified today was George Kent. He was the Deputy Assistant Secretary of State. He testified that Trump's personal lawyer, Rudy Giuliani, had a campaign of lies against the former Ukraine ambassador, Yovanovitch, and Volker and Sondland, who were part of Trump's inner circle in the White House, worked with Giuliani on Ukraine. So basically what they testified was there were 2 different foreign policies going on. One official foreign policy by the State Department in which George Kent and Bill Taylor, the former ambassador, and Yovanovitch, who was the ambassador before Bill Taylor, were doing, which was trying to build up the Ukraine military to fight the Russians, who are our enemies, and to help build institutions in the Ukraine, courts, police, civil institutions, so that people can say, you know what, maybe I want to go do business in the Ukraine. But no, what they said was that Giuliani and Sondland and Volker and Perry, who was the energy secretary, who had nothing to do with foreign policy as far as I can tell, were having a separate foreign policy that was overtaking official foreign policy, and that foreign policy was give us dirt on Joe Biden that has already been debunked. So he was trying to, quote unquote, trump up some stuff on Biden that didn't exist. And he was saying, basically bribing the Ukrainians. Now, Bill Taylor, the former ambassador and the top U.S. diplomat in Ukraine, corroborated many of the claims made by this whistleblower. Nobody knows who the whistleblower is, whose complaint and subsequent Inspector General's report prompted the inquiry. In the end, the Republicans say, well, Trump can do whatever he wants. So we'll see what happens. Really, the appeals board is going to be the American public. In other news, Venice is underwater right now. They are 6.3 feet of water in St. Mark's Square, which is the center of Venice, where their big cathedral is. Now, residents and tourists can be seen wading through the water in rain boots. The water invaded the ground floors of many of the historic stores and restaurants and hotels. At least 3 vaporettis, which is Venice's public transportation boats, sank. This is all from global warming. As a matter of fact, I read that this areas in Bangkok and other low-lying areas in major cities in 50 years from now aren't going to exist anymore.
Wow.
You know who's running for president?
Who?
Who is running for president?
Take a guess who's running for president. Already declaring for 202024. This guy right here.
I already know. Kanye West.
Kanye West, he was...
the new Jesus.
Yes. With the
Yep,
sneakers.
Mr.
Yeezys, right?
Oh, God, look at that.
Kanye, he was in New York at Fast Company Innovation Festival's 5th annual gathering. He sat alongside Stephen Smith, the lead designer for Kanye West Yeezy shoes. So the 2 of them were being interviewed. And during that discussion, Kanye just veered off topic like he normally does.
Right.
He goes...
When I run for president in 2024, we're going to definitely... know what y'all laughing at?
Like, do you see how serious
He was very serious. He's dead serious. He has a slogan now, apparently.
What?
What is it?
Already?
Keep America great again.
The originality in that one.
Not keep America. It's not
Make
America great. It's keep America great.
Is this serious?
I am serious. That is his new
campaign
campaign slogan. Finally, before we get into our hump day news, here's public service announcement. Sexually transmitted diseases are at an all-time high in the United States of America. So for the 5th consecutive year, combined cases of gonorrhea, chlamydia, syphilis have risen in the United States. And the CDC found that the states with the highest rates, Alaska, Mississippi, and Nevada.
Places where there's nothing else to do.
That's right. Make babies, right?
Nevada, I mean,
Yeah.
there's still Vegas there. There's some things to do.
Well, Nevada,
probably
Nevada,
why,
I
Vegas.
get. Nevada, I
Alaska's
get.
just cold. They have to stay warm.
Hey.
Maestro, can you bring in some camels, please? It's hump day.
There he is.
There he is.
There he
There's
is.
the camels. You know who Suzanne Summers is? Step
She's
by
the
step.
thigh master.
She's the thigh master,
Yeah.
correct. Do you know what her
yeah.
name was
Yeah.
on Three's Company? Chrissy. So
There she
she's
goes.
73 years
Wow.
old.
Oh, wow.
And she's bearing it all. She posed in her birthday suit on Instagram to celebrate. She's still looking really good. Now, according to Summers, she is married to Alan Hamill, who's 83 years old. And according to Summers, the couple, they married in 1977. What makes her still so young?
Sex.
They have sex
Yep.
twice a day.
Yep.
She claims it's not Viagra, that adding PT 141 shots, typically used to treat low sexual desire in cases without an underlying medical or emotional cause. It is also known as bremelanotide or Vyleesi. I don't know about sticking needles in me to have sex. You know, that
Yeah, I
sounds
mean,
a
but
little
it's
much.
obviously working for them.
It's keeping them young.
So she says, wow, what a great thing, because men have had Viagra, but this is actually a shot for both men and women, and it's not a drug. It just stimulates that part of your brain that says, hey, I'm in the mood. There is a doctor by the name of Sherry Ross. She's a women's health expert and author of Sheology. She thinks that Summers is setting a good example by speaking out about her sex life, but she cautions that not everyone may enjoy the same effects from the medication. Now, this doctor describes the FDA-approved Vyleesi as the new kid on the block to help boost a woman's sex drive, noting that the self-administered injection is typically used for premenopausal women. By the way, if anybody out there in the Brad Squad was getting any ideas about doing any, like sex emojis while we're talking about Hump Day News, well, Facebook and Instagram, they are now banning commonly used sex emojis.
There goes the eggplant.
Yes.
And there goes the peach.
Facebook, and also owns Instagram, has taken their sexual censorship to a new level, this time banning posts that use common sexual emojis, which includes eggplants,
That was gonna be the
peaches,
first one to go.
water drips,
See?
and maybe some other things as well. The new rule comes from Section 16 of Community Standards in Facebook under sexual solicitation. Do you know about the Frisbee lady?
I do.
So this woman was playing a harmless game of Frisbee
Frisbee.
with her husband in
Right.
Loveland, Colorado. And it was pretty hot out. It was the summer. So the husband took off his shirt, says, you know what, I'm hot.
Right.
And his 20-year-old wife, Effie Krokos, says, well, if you're allowed to take your shirt off, I'm going to take my shirt off
There you
too.
go.
And they were both playing topless Frisbee football in their front yard. Now, the police were called when concerned neighbors said there's somebody topless running around, and she got arrested. So she took her case all the way to court. And it turns out that she was a constitutional scholar all along, because
She knew what she
the
was
10th
doing.
Circuit said that if a man's allowed to take off his shirt, then a woman should be allowed to take off her shirt as well. So in Loveland, Colorado, and in any
agree.
jurisdiction of the 10th Circuit, which is out there in the Midwest, you can go topless all day long because a man can as well.
As a feminist, I stand by her and her topless Frisbee game.
Thanks for watching. For more Brad Show Live, like and subscribe to our YouTube channel.